Anyway, let me know if you got me up. Anyway, this is my test bed thing. I wanted to do this last year, but it was a bit hard to explain it all. But I can insert magnets while it's running, and I'm going to 3D print this because it won't take long to knock this out. It's oh God. Well, anyway, I'll record this anyway for Alan tomorrow if he gets it. But I can insert ferrite rods, which I've got some 5mm ferrite rods, into these holes and attenuate the to make adjustment on the laminations, or I can use a piece of steel rod or something, basically to adjust the gap, the air gap, for tuning. So anyway, that goes right in between the rods. So if I just hide that a minute. Right, so there's my laminations, right, coming through, that have been actuated by the mk2 coils over here on the right, and the red. That's why I colour coded everything, so it's a bit easy to explain. But my laminations, the existing laminations, I originally designed them to go inside the bobbins, right? Well, with the alnicos being inside the bobbins, I can't exactly put them in there. So I'm considering cutting some of them off, actually, because I've got plenty of them. But I was thinking about cutting part of this off, cutting this down, so I can get the coils a bit closer, because the closer they are to this piece of this magnetic switch, the better, really. So I'll probably do a little test at some point when I get this 3D printed, these parts. Well, these things at the bottom are magnets. I mean, that's just these things are magnets, and these are the steel laminations. Obviously, I don't need to print those because they're in steel. But I basically tried to model all of it so you could see how it would go together. And anyway, I've got a bit better at doing it now. So, and I would have to 3D print these secondary coils, which are colour coded green, and there's two coil secondary windings on there. Now these can be daisy chained. The idea is if it works well, if one of these works well, I could daisy chain it. So I'll unhide that. So what I mean is they can be stacked so that we have these actuator coils here would drive another section of laminations and another magnet, proxy magnet, and then another set of coils, and then there'd be another magnet. Now this is where the magnets are, obviously, inside. So if I hide it again, hang on. So there's the magnets, obviously. We could have a string of them, and we could stand it up on the floor, basically. That's the idea. So anyway, at the moment, that's all I've got, really. But my other build, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it as such. It's just the couplings are a bit too loose, and I can't change things while it's running, because there's no easy way of changing out the cores. And I've thought about drilling holes through there and that, but I just thought, rather than doing all that, it'd be a lot easier to make this one, this one, which I thought about doing last year, which would be a lot simpler to 3D print it out and basically work in 2 dimensions instead of 8, and I can have 8 coils running directly on the laminations instead of at an angle, because it's less efficient at an angle. That's the problem I found out, because you see I'm trying to get magnetic fields to go around a corner. It's better if I have it like this, really. Anyway, so that's basically where I am at the moment. And then there's my secondary coil, that's where the laminations come through, and the magnets are inside here, at the top. These things here, there'll be 1 magnet and some two spacers, or I could put 2 magnets off and 1 spacer. It depends what I want to do, how much power I've got to drive it. I mean, the more magnets are in here, the more power you need to put in, but then the more you get out. So if you haven't got much power to begin with to put into it, then 1 magnet's probably enough, because these neodymiums are very strong. So I'm not going to be putting a lot of magnets in to begin with. I'm just going to start small and we'll build it up. Now at some point I'll make it so that these magnets can also be removed from the side. I haven't made a hole yet, but I was thinking about it, and it might actually be practical to make some rectangular holes in the side of here, so that these magnets can actually be slid in and slid out, you know, like on a little like a drawer, you know, like a little drawer thing. So yeah, I was thinking about that. I've already made some holes for the other things, and it makes sense to make a drawer where I can just insert the magnets and push them in, and I'll pull them out and change things out, and it's a lot easier than taking the whole thing apart. So anyway, and let's see, hide that one as well. So I mean, the other one, the bottom section is basically a mirror image of the top. You see what I mean? And so I will just select these 2 and hide those as well. You'll get an idea how the physical part is in the interior, and that's basically all there is to it, really. Anyway, that's it for now.